Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we discuss the 2021 update of a model originally launched in 2019 from Bulgari. This is the Octo Finissimo Chronograph GMT. What makes this different from the original is the combination of the black dial with the primarily rubber black strap. So it's a more sporty aesthetic, but it is still the same basic high-grade watch that wowed at the GPHG that year. It is still 42 millimeters in diameter in titanium, measures only 7 millimeters thick. There are two ways to measure it lug-to-lug. One is the actual lug-to-lug span, which is 45.9 millimeters. But if we include this little end link insert that sits on each side of the case, then the total distance across the wrist is 52.3. We do have a 30 millimeter lug spacing, though as you can see more easily from the bottom, that the interaction of the lug and the strap is not super straightforward. So you're going to want to go with either a Bulgari OEM strap, or you're probably going to want to send this end link to your custom strap maker so the strap can be fitted to the link before the link is fitted to your watch. But I don't know why you'd want to swap from this strap because it's beautiful and comfortable. We have a textile pattern on the top, straight rubber on the bottom, long-lasting, durable, comfortable. We have a combination of branding and media blast on this buckle. You can see there's a little bit of burnishing. The watch is, of course, not refinished. This is its original factory state, albeit having been worn. And yes, it is pronounced Bulgari. The watch, featuring many facets on its case, according to Bulgari, upwards of 100 facets. And I'm just going to push the I believe button, as I always have with these. What I'll say is it's a lot, and it is nuanced, and it is complex, and it is now iconic. Bulgari watches existed for decades, but the company hadn't embraced watchmaking on quite the same level as it did in the 2000s when it began assembling all the faculties of a full integrated manufacturer. And there is no doubt that today the Octo Finissimo is its most distinctive and recognized line, to the point that I can do this, and while it wouldn't have been true in the 70s, 80s, or 90s across the board, today you know what brand and what model line without seeing the logo, and that is what iconic means. Taking a look at the crown, it's double knurled. It's got a little ceramic insert on it. Everything else is media blast and darkened. Note that it's not just angular. We do have curves here. The outer bezel is curved. You could see that the facets have a little bit of a rounding inboard, this plinth on which the bezel sits. Then we have a round sapphire that sits on top of a faceted inner bezel with a faceted dial. So there is some complexity here. And if we get to the dial, you can see it's matte finish, so are the hands. A little bit of an illusion here. You might think this is some sort of chronograph register, when in fact this is actually the second time zone in a 24-hour format. And also take note, hacking seconds. So now I can make adjustments. What I want to do is I want to set the hour on my second time zone and then set the minute correctly. Unhack the movement. Use this little pusher adjuster. Now I can select my local time. And so that is how I set the two time zones, 12 and 24-hour format on this GMT chronograph. Now getting very close, you can see there's a very fine media blasted grain to the dial, and that the same is true of the transferred features, the indices and the numerals and the characters. And that is seamless from the transferred characters and indices to the hands themselves. Turning it all over is where this thing goes way up market. Now, it would have been perfectly understandable if Bulgari reckoned its award-winning caliber with micro rotor from the Octo Finissimo automatic could be attached to a chronograph module and still yield an admirably thin automatic winding chronograph. Instead of the BVL 138, they went with the BVL 288, which is the peripheral rotor automatic from the tourbillon. So this is actually the automatic winding system complete with platinum rotor from the tourbillon, and then the GMT chronograph mechanisms have been dumped into the donut hole that sits inside the winding mechanism, allowing this entire movement, though automatic, GMT, and chronograph, to be only 3.3 millimeters thick. Now, platinum is used for the mass because platinum is the most massive rotor material available for the most efficient possible peripheral winding system. And you can see easily how it works. You can also see that the mass is this side. The other side is a silver gray media blast. This side is brushed. That's the platinum mass right there. Inside, we have a 55-hour power reserve via, I believe, single barrel, 37 joules, full balance bridge for better shock resistance. There is nothing unconventional about the case. We don't have a base plate built into the case back or any kind of traditional ultra-thin watch theatrics that would compromise the timepiece in terms of durability or water resistance. Water resistance is a standard dress watch 30 meters, and because of the full balance bridge, this is something you can wear every day. We have a column wheel for chronograph function cycling, and it is one of the best feeling and sounding column wheels I've encountered. Taking a quick look, you can see the lateral clutch is visible. It's actually a nicely decorated piece right here, unconventionally shaped, but very effective. It fits the aesthetic of the watch. We have narrowly spaced Côte de Genève. We have bevels that are polished, though mechanically executed. I give them full credit for something that is aesthetically pleasing. You can see satination on the wheels, all screw heads polished. We have satination and beveling on the steel, a chronograph clutch, and then that full bridge with Inca block shock protection for relative resistance to shock and concussion. Everyday use, not a hardcore sports watch. I wouldn't go spelunking with it, but it's not delicate in any unconventional sense. The movement is large, properly filling the case back. It's 36.6 millimeters in diameter. Remember, I mentioned that Bulgari had built up all the faculties of a manufacturer, making dials, hands, small parts, cases, even movements. And when you're designing both case and movement in-house, they can fit hand in glove just like this. 36.6 millimeters in diameter. That's like a Unitas 6498. And it's a 3 hertz beat rate, which helps the watch to achieve that rather impressive 55-hour power reserve. You can see that there's beveling inside the jewel sinks, a lovely little piece of attention to detail. And underneath the primary driving wheel of the chronograph, which I believe is driving off the 4th wheel of the movement, you can see that there's engine turning there. A beautiful watch in every regard, and a very practical combination of complications. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.